clean start. Welcome, everyone, to this week's edition of the Nonprofit Culture Success Show. My name is Russell Dennis. I'm your host. And this week, I have Rik Feeney of Publishing Success Online here to talk about the importance of storytelling for nonprofits and why writing and publishing a book is the best evergreen method of doing it. While it's not uncommon for business cards and trifold brochures to get buried in the desk drawer in the recycle bin, books are something that people always tend to keep. They're passed on to others by the original owners. So Rik is here, and I don't really like to do bios as much because they don't really capture what someone does. And Rik and I were spent time at Sponsorship Boot Camp in September, and I'm looking forward to meeting him again at Magnetic Speaker. Rik, welcome. Tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Hey Russell, how you doing? Me, I get paid to lie for fun and profit. That's kind of how I look at it. Writing for me is something where I put something on paper and people decide, hey, that's pretty good, and they buy it. I've always been excited about writing, and I really like the fact that if I can help somebody else learn how to write and express what their knowledge is to other people, it's great.
Excellent. And so we're talking about messaging for nonprofits. It's really important for people to get their message out there and talk about their meeting, their mission, I should say, and let people know what it is that they're doing. And for a lot of people, the idea of writing a book seems to be, it's pretty scary. So what are three things that a book should do for someone if they write one?
Well, basically, I think the fear of writing is what happens when people get stuck about halfway through. They start a book, they've got a great idea, they're kind of writing by the seat of their pants, and they're saying, here's my passion, here's my problem, can you people help me with this? And what happens when they write in a linear fashion, in other words, from beginning to end, straight through, is usually they get caught somewhere in the middle. And it's like, oh no, I'm trying to write to where I've already come from, but I'm also going towards this goal and I'm stuck. How do I, that's when they get into that writer's block, where I think that if you write organic, meaning you can write on any aspect of your book at any time, that you're much better off. So I usually teach people a system of storyboarding that allows them to write much easier. And truly, I don't care who you are. When I met you, in about 5 or 10 minutes, I had a strong concept of who you were and what you were doing and your podcasts and basically how you were trying to help people. So right away, I knew, okay, this guy, he's got a message objective. And I think that charities or any organization that's writing, one of the biggest things they can do is ultimately define their message objective into what we would call a log line. A log line is like 5 to 10 words that totally lets people know in an instant this is what the book is about and what it's going to achieve.
So really the thing that can take terror out of it is doing it systematically. So how does that work? People have different writing styles. And you've actually perfected a methods that could help people with multiple writing styles. Talk a little bit about that, if you would, please.
Well, I think number one, there's a couple of rules with regard to writing and publishing. First of all, an overarching one that everybody needs to know. 5% of the effort is writing and publishing. 95% of the effort is marketing and promoting. So no matter what you do, and no matter how good your book is, if you're not effective at marketing after it's develop, then it's probably going to sell. I think the average is maybe 100 books. The average self-published author sells maybe 100 books. The other thing to keep in mind is there is no correct or right way to write a book. There is no correct way to publish a book. There is no correct way to market a book. There's only the way that works best for you. So you have to define that. So while I do have a system, I'm not going to brag and say, oh, that everybody could do this. Because you know what? Some people might not want to. And I know for a fact that the first book I wrote, Gymnastics, a guide for parents and athletes, I know all you looking at this magnificent physique over the computer are going, what? He was a gymnastics coach? Yeah, 30 years and 30,000 pizzas ago, I actually did gymnastics. And I wrote one of the best-selling books on the sport. But you know what? I'd been a coach for 30 years. And I was passionate about the sport and especially keeping kids safe. So I really didn't need an outline because it was my opinion. I knew what I wanted to say. So if you've got writers out there that are supremely passionate about their project or their topic and they're giving their opinion, they may not need to do research or outline or do whatever. They can just sit down and throw it out there because, of course, you know, the first draft is the most fun.